Kia ora everyone, welcome back to our REDCap training sessions. So today, for this session, we're just going to look at the additional REDCap forms that we've created in REDCap to assist case and contact management teams with your investigation. So that's kind of like along with our scoping, contact tracing, and symptom checking forms. We've also created these following forms here, which are the case report form, welfare application, welfare referral, institution questionnaire, information request forms, and then forms also to do with residential institutions such as aged care facilities and correction facilities as well. So yeah, we've just gone here and created these forms to provide support when faced with like a surge, or to be able to increase ARF's capabilities in terms of data collection and also like sharing of information within our organisation, and also increase productivity by creating electronic forms for ease of access and being able to just store everything in one spot. This is until the NCTS system is all up and running. Alright then, so let's start off with the case report form. So what happens here with the case report form is that the scoping is completed, and then the intent of the form is to have the SSOs receive an electronic version of a case report form with the data entered into the scoping form. And then, so the case report form is pre-populated with all the data required by Episerve in the correct format, or like in the correct flow that it is in Episerve. Then it's automatically sent to the SSOs as a link from REDCap. The SSOs are then able to click on that link and have it up on their screen, and also have the Episerve page for the case up on their screen as well, and be able to just enter data into Episerve. So how do we do this? So the case report form will look a little something like this. So say scoping has been completed, and then all these fields highlighted in yellow here, GP, surname, first name, NHI, contact details there, demographics, and all these other ones here. Diagnosis, all of these will be pre-populated with the answers entered into scoping forms. So scoping 1 just says that this information is coming from the scoping form, and this is the field to take the answer from. Cool. So the case report form. Yeah. All right, and then we have the welfare application. So this will be used when welfare and or cultural support is requested during scoping, contact tracing, and symptom checking. So for both scoping and contact tracing, and also manual symptom checking, the process is pretty much the same, where the forms are completed, and then a link to the welfare application is automatically sent to the interviewer. So that'll be one of our staff members in the case and contact management teams. It'll be sent to their email address for completion of the case. So and then so if someone was to request for welfare and cultural support during electronic symptom checking, the case or contact will then be will then be notified that someone from ARFS will be in contact with them to complete welfare application form with them. So the welfare application form will look a little something like this. Hopefully you guys can see that there. So again, this is in relation to Raven Baxter. And we just ask that the interviewer completes this form with the case over the phone by entering the date, what kind of assistance is required. So for these options, we can pick more than one, if it's food and accommodation, and also maybe some other special needs. This form is pretty much just a replica of the paper form that the welfare team have developed. So just providing a summary of the current situation, the sensitivity of the case and or family situation, what their main reason for welfare or cultural services is. Because we've selected food, there's an option here, there's these options here. Is there anyone in the household who can go and get the food for them? Or do they have someone from outside of their household that could do so? Because I've selected accommodation up here, we've got these questions that pop up here. What's their situation? Number of bedrooms, bathrooms. Making sure that we ask if there's any cultural support required, especially for Māori or Pacifica cases or contacts, because we have support services that can help them as well. And we're just talking about the consent, that they know, ask for callback, that the person knows that the referral has been made and agrees to it, and then the level of priority level for the request. Then we go into the household tree. So this again will help the welfare team in being able to assign like the appropriate services or prioritizing what needs to be done. And then you can just go ahead and submit it. I'll just do that. Cool, and then once you submit, should I push submit now? Oh, yeah. Anyways, we can submit, take note of the return code. You can also download the PDF and save it as an attachment in the cases NDCMS file if you like. But once you go ahead and submit that, then we go on to our welfare referral form. So this is an automated process. Once the welfare application form is submitted, a link to the welfare referral form is then sent on to the AFS welfare generic email address. And the welfare referral will look a little something like this here. Just pre-populating all the fields with the answers given in the welfare application form. And then, the link is sent straight to the welfare team, with making sure that the priority level is identified in the subject line and also includes information on the household tree. And then once all steps of the referral form have been completed, or the application has all their their needs have been met, or they've been passed on to the appropriate services, we just ask that the welfare referral team clicks complete on the survey. That this just lets us know that the referral has been managed from start to finish. Actually, do I have a welfare referral up here? Cool. Right, then we're just moving on to our institution questionnaire. So again, during scoping or contact tracing, you may find out that an individual works at or has visited one of the high-risk settings, whether it be a school, a childcare centre, high school, tertiary institution, an aged residential care facility, corrections facility, another type of institution or workplace. So that's identifying, during scoping or contact tracing, and then the interviewer will receive a link to the institution questionnaire, or you can also access it via straight through REDCap. So during scoping and contact tracing, there's this question that pops up here: institutions, just wanting to ask if the case has lived or has attended one of the following whilst infectious. The good thing with these options here is that you can select more than one. So say that, for example, someone is a uni student studying early childcare and also works at a childcare centre part-time, or like as a student teacher. So you have the opportunity to select tertiary education institution as well as early childcare service. Maybe if they are a uni student but also works part-time, you can do uni student and also select workplace. So I will just pull this over here. This is what the institution questionnaire looks like. So going back to Raven Baxter, so on the, if I remember correctly, the 18th of June, the 18th of June, Raven was at work. This is the day before onset of symptoms. So I selected, where are we? I selected workplace. Which meant that in the institution questionnaire, only questions regarding the case's workplace comes up. So we're asking, so this would be pre-populated with the workplace, the name of the workplace. We're entering the address, the main contact person there, their phone number, their email, and then we're just advising on the following. The institution questionnaires are always completed with our main contact person at the institution. So for us, primary school, it'll be the school principal. For a childcare centre, it'll be the centre manager. For a residential care facility, aged care facility, I think it'll be like the clinical manager. And then we can go to that. Awesome, so that's what the institution questionnaire will look like. Then we go into the information request forms. So for the information request forms, we have one for each of these options here. And what is it called? And when we're completing the institution questionnaire with our main contact person of that facility, we're just advising them, so would ask that you'd advise them that to expect an email link from us with that'll take them to the information request form. And that's just for us to collect more the contact details, demographics, interactions with case or contacts, the COVID-19 plan, infection control procedures, and so forth. So in this case, we have the workplace information request. So a link to this form will be sent directly to our main contact person of each institution that's selected. And we just ask that they provide the files or information requested below. So so we ask that they enter details of anyone in their workplace who could have come in contact with Raven. They would click on this, they would download this Excel spreadsheet. It'll look a little something like this. Please note that we have edited it since uploading this template. But then we'll just ask that they enter all the contact details, all the information that's required of them in this Excel spreadsheet, and then go ahead and re-upload the document here, and then just add any other information that they think we will need. So I'll just show you another one. Cool. So this is an example of one for a residential institution information request. So here there's a few more documents to upload. So a current list of all residents and staff, a map of the facility, their COVID-19 plan, the health of older people plan, cleaning schedule and infection control procedures. Cool. So that's what that looks like. Again, just our thinking behind this, the intent of this form is just to have all information come in on like one platform, that being REDCap. And then what would happen after that is someone from our REDCap team would have to go and download that form, clean up the data in on the Excel spreadsheet just in case, so that it's easy to re-upload into NDCMS as like exposed contacts for that case. Would also add in the record ID and the EpiServe, the REDCap record ID and the EpiServe number of the case that these contacts that are provided are associated with, so that we're able to easily add them as exposed contacts into the index case file. Cool. Alright, so where are we off to next on this? Okay, so we also have a residential institution questionnaire. So the residential institution questionnaire is exactly that. It's related to aged care facilities and corrections facilities. And this form is only to be used if it is identified that the individual is either a case of a residential institution or a contact. Contact being contractors that may have come in and contracted COVID-19, staff members, other residents, and maybe possibly family members as well. So this form is completed with our single point of contact for the facility, and it just asks of how many units, the makeup of the facility, what activities that they've had in the past 14 days, their DHB, IMT contact person, a list of staff, what PPE gear is used, infection control, food and isolation. So that residential institution questionnaire looks a little something like this. So again, this is being sent to the interviewer. In this case, it was sent straight to myself. And it's to do with the case with the episode number 21-123458-AK and the surname Baxter, as it was identified during scoping and or contact tracing that the case had been at a residential institution whilst infectious. So we'll enter the date, the episode number. Again, this relates to Raven Baxter. The case description is she is staff member, resident, visitor, volunteer or other. Okay. You set that. How many days were they there whilst infectious? And then we're going into the facility information. Again, what's the name of the place, the address, total number of beds, residents there, number of units, what's their makeup, are they, is it a dementia care unit, long-term residential care hospital, or is it an independent unit? Are they independent units? And then we'll just complete that with a bit of a progress note that can be added as a progress note in the NDCMS file as well. Before completing this, we just let the single point of contact from the facility know that to expect a residential information request form as well. So I will just bring it up here. Actually, no, I showed you that before, didn't I? Just this one, to provide us with all the details and information requested here. Awesome. So we spoke about that before, the information request form. Now we're going into the Residential Institution Enrolment tool. So what this is, what this form is, I'll just bring it up for you actually. Anyways, while I'm looking for it, what this form here is once the contact list for the other residents and staff members are entered into, are uploaded to the REDCap information request form, the data from that spreadsheet is exported and saved to a folder on EndDrive. Once that's done, it's prepared, the data there is prepared for upload into NDCMS. So one of our REDCap team members will assess and clean the data in the spreadsheet just to make sure that it matches what the fields match what is required in NDCMS. Then we would also include the REDCap record ID and the episode number, just so that we're able to link those in the spreadsheets to the associated index case. And then the upload to NDCMS will happen, where we've built in some background logic to be able to search for those that are already entered in NDCMS as contacts. This just helps to reduce any duplication. And then the contact lists are uploaded to NDCMS via, this could be done via a bulk upload or by SSOs. And then once that's done, the data is then imported into REDCap. So this Residential Institution Enrolment tool, I'm just going to bring it up for you now. Hold up. Yeah, so that institution enrolment tool will just serve as a base for all the residential contacts, and just be a place where we can differentiate between the two if they are a contact or a case. And then also this helps us this helps us with the symptom checking for residential care facilities as well. So this is what the enrolment tool will look like. So this is all the information for resident 1, whoever that may be. 2, 3, and so forth. It looks like this because we actually don't have any data in our training in our training environment to be able to show what it would look like in real time. But that's what that looks like. Cool. Hopefully I explained that correctly. But yeah, whatever is entered into the Residential Institution Enrolment tool will be replicated in the Residential Symptom Checking form, and this enrolment tool form is just as a base to keep all the details of each contact of a case in a residential care facility. Yeah, and the information can be updated as needed. And yeah, it just informs our residential symptom checking form. Cool, so we've also got a residential update tool. We're doing a bit of work on this one. So Taylor and Angela were talking about the residential forms and then that we'd created, and the thought came about that what if a resident becomes symptomatic early in the morning or overnight, and how, using REDCap, how can the facility inform us of that as soon as possible? So with this, Taylor has created a residential update tool, which will be sent out daily at the same time as the residential symptom checking form, and it's pretty much to be used for urgent or early or late updates to us. the priority status can be identified in this as well. So it could either be like an option to request ARF's assistance immediately, or just as an FYI to be like, hey, this is what happened, mild symptoms, and these are the actions that we've taken. So I'm just going to see if I can find it here. Oh, actually, it's the way at the end, isn't it? Okay, and this is what the residential update tool will look like. So this will be sent to the clinical manager of an ARC, and this is why we would, these are the situations as to why they would use it. So if they need to update us, it needs to be communicated to ARFs before or after symptom checking has been completed. If an update needs to be given to ARFs that is outside of the scope of symptom checking, and however, if none of these above situations apply, then there's no need for them to complete this form. And if this request or FYI, if this request is urgent, we ask that they just call their assigned medical lead. So that's residential update tool, and then we go on to our residential symptom check form. So we've configured this form in a way that we can have all residents of the facility on one form, and we've made it so that cases or contacts can be easily identifiable. And then it'll just assist the clinical managers of each facility with the ease of symptom checking. So yeah, we just thought that having them all on one form would be much easier for them to go around and complete the daily symptom checks. I'm just going to bring one up for you now. Actually, I'm not sure if it'll be. Yeah, no, it doesn't. What should I do? Oh, yeah. And REDCap is taking its time. No, here we go. Oh, why is this so slow? Okay, let me just wait to see if REDCap can sort itself out, and then I will show you the REDCap symptom checking form. This is not it. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, so please bear in mind that this is just an example because we don't have any aged care facilities in our REDCap system so far, but this is just an example of what it would look like, or the background logic that we've put into this form. So you can identify whether they are a case or a contact. This information here will be just pre-populated with their name, their date of birth, NHI, and what unit they're in. So the clinical manager or the RN will go through and just check up on this contact here. Are they symptomatic? Yes, no. If yes, the list of symptoms will pop up. If no, that's okay, it'll be left there. And then also asking if the case received, the resident received the swab today, and then if there's anything else that we should know. Same thing again. So we've made this form to account for 200 residential cases or contacts at a facility. Oh, I'm not sure what's happening there. Oh. All right then, so that's the end of that in terms of our additional forms. I think we've covered most forms, actually nearly, yeah. Every form that we've created on REDCap we've covered. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to come and see myself or Taylor here in room 12 on level 1, or feel free to flick us an email at any time. Yeah, happy scoping, contact tracing, symptom checking, and hopefully these the REDCap forms that we've created are able to assist you with your upcoming scoping and contact tracing and things like that. Awesome, thank you everybody.